Let me explain something to you right now. Okay, here's a $10 bill. This is garbage. This is garbage. Your people in South Africa, you have your rand, right? That's going to zero. That's going to zero. This is going to zero too. Euros are going to zero. The yen's going to zero. The Chinese currency is going to zero. It's all going to zero against Bitcoin.
Well, you know, my Bitcoin's up 9 million% since I first bought it, and it's probably going to go up another 40x.
You don't need Bitcoin either.
Yes, you do, because it's the most secure. It's the only secure database that's ever been invented. That's the technology. You fail to understand that it's a new technology that is as profound as the printing press or the electric light bulb. You're comparing it to things that you shouldn't be comparing it to. It makes no sense.
Max Keiser this week unveiled his newest $2 million Bitcoin price prediction. In this video, we will be going over Max Keiser's most recent Bitcoin price prediction, in which he highlights an overall $2 million Bitcoin price. We will also be going over his other two Bitcoin price predictions, his 2021 prediction, and also his short-term 2-month price prediction. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video, where I will show you two recent pieces of data regarding Bitcoin and where the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here. Now, for those of you who don't know who Max Keiser is, let me play some clips so you can get an idea of his character.
What is the value proposition of Bitcoin? It fulfills all the four major categories under Aristotle's proposition for good money. What is value? It's the portability, divisibility, fungibility, and scarcity and desirability. It fulfills all those characteristics.
You don't need Bitcoin either.
Yes, you do, because it's the most secure. It's the only secure database that's ever been invented. That's the technology. You fail to understand that it's a new technology that is as profound as the printing press or the electric light bulb. You're comparing it to things that you shouldn't be comparing it to. It makes no sense. You're talking nonsense.
Yeah, this is... Look,
it's a brand new breakthrough in technology. Your kids are going to be wondering why their dad didn't see the value. They'll be like, Dad must have been on drugs because he never saw the value.
If you don't understand that yet, you're going to be impoverished. You're going to be on the street. You're going to be begging. You're going to be out of business. You're going to be toast.
Max, do you know that it's a criminal offense to tear up?
Do you know that with the Bitcoin I have, I can buy any freaking senator or congressman I want? I make the laws. He who has the Bitcoin makes the laws, Rand. We're not going to just sit around and let the goddamn congressman tell us what to do. We've got the capital. We make the laws. We've got the Bitcoin. They don't. We got it. They don't. Do you understand?
As you can see, definitely a polarizing character. If you are a Bitcoin holder, you probably love him. If you are Peter Schiff, you probably aren't a fan. Keiser has been a long-time bull of Bitcoin. He has been preaching the potential of the coin for a decade now. The reason we look so closely at Max Keiser's Bitcoin predictions is because in the past he has proved himself to be the most accurate predictor of its price. He nailed the end of 2020 Bitcoin price, and his 2021 predictions have also been right on target. Keep in mind, past performance and accuracy is no indication that he will continue to be correct. However, it's definitely some interesting indicators to take a look at. First, we will take a look at his $2 million price prediction, followed by his 2021 price prediction, and finally his short-term price target. Stick around to the end, where I outline how I believe he makes his valuations. Also, only a tiny percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video.
Well, this is the ultimate win-win-win for people who have a ability to see clearly. The problem, the reason why Bitcoin is skyrocketing is because there's hyperinflation in America, and the US dollar is in a hyperinflationary collapse against Bitcoin. And the solution, as we've been describing by these policymakers, will always be to print more money. So that means that Bitcoin is on a one-way trip higher because they have no other policy solution than to print money. So therefore, that stimulus money is up 500 or 600%. It's going to be up 6,000%. And it's going to and continue to go higher because the policymakers are this arbitrary despotism we see in Washington and other power centers around the world is fueled by hubris and rank imbecility. And they're just going to keep printing. And well, you know, my Bitcoin's up 9 million% since I first bought it. and it's probably going to go up another 40x.
Well, as we covered, he bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin for Tesla. Tesla are already up over $500 million on their Bitcoin investment, nearly outperforming their entire 2020 earnings of $721 million.
They've made more on their Tesla investment in less than 6 months than they've ever made in the entirety on their business of selling cars.
Yes, on their Bitcoin rather than their Tesla.
On their Bitcoin.
And that actually brings up, they could have bought instead more their own shares. That's the standard thing to do. But Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy blew that operation out of the water.
Well, because as I've explained, this is based on the 1993 Soros attack on the Bank of England, which was a speculative attack. He could borrow money cheaply from these banks and attack a big bank like the Bank of England, forced them out of the European exchange rate mechanism, and made a quick $1 billion. And Stan Druckenmiller orchestrated that speculative attack. This is a speculative attack that Elon Musk is making on the Fed, right? So he's already gone to war with the SEC, the SEC. He's already gone to war with the SEC, and he's shown them to be venal and captured. Now he's gone to war with the Fed and say, I'm not going to buy back my own stock. I'm going to take your cheap money. I'm going to buy Bitcoin like Michael Saylor's doing. And now, 500 other CEOs in the S&P 500 are like, you know what? That's a darn good idea.
So, there you have it guys, Max Keiser with his overall prediction that Bitcoin will increase 40x from here. With the Bitcoin price sitting at 50k at the time of that interview, that implies a $2 million Bitcoin. Also, interesting point on Tesla, we have seen Elon Musk make more profit on his Bitcoin purchase already than Tesla has made in profit in its entire lifetime. Absolutely insane. Also great to see that Musk went the route of purchasing Bitcoin as opposed to a share buyback to inflate the price of Tesla stocks. Will we see the same move from other top S&P 500 companies in the future? Now let's take a look at Keiser's 2021 Bitcoin prediction followed by his short-term target.
Years ago, my guest made the most accurate forecast for how Bitcoin would close off 2020 amongst all the popular Bitcoin pundits and advocates in the world. Max Keiser had forecasted $20,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2020. So how is he expecting Bitcoin to close off in 2021?
The corrections in Bitcoin have been successfully getting less and less and less. I mean, I've went through 3 80 to 90% corrections, in Bitcoin since 2011. So, but since then we've had less and less and less. So we just experienced a 20% correction. And so now that correction's over and now we start going higher. And so it'll start to behave more like an asset class where you might see 10 to 20% corrections. The 30, 40, 50% corrections, I think, we're past that because the size of the market's gotten to be a lot bigger and the amount of money on the sidelines waiting to get in is enormous. The biggest money funds in the world, BlackRock, Stan Druckenmiller, Paul Tudor Jones, Mass Mutual Insurance Company, they're all sitting on the bid, hoping to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And that's only going to get bigger and bigger. Sovereign wealth funds are going to get into this, etc. So the corrections will be less and less and less. I'm going with $220,000 per Bitcoin as a 2021 target. And that would bring us up to over $4 trillion market valuation, which I think is a good 2021 objective. We were going to catch up to gold. That would bring us up to not quite half gold's valuation, but getting close to gold's valuation.
So there you have his 2021 price prediction of $220,000. Let us Bitcoin holders hope he's nailed this year's prediction once again. And for his short-term March-April price target, we can see he has a $65,000 target which he has outlined in a numerous amount of tweets. Finally, 2 recent pieces of Bitcoin data I have for you guys. Firstly, there are currently over 100,000 Bitcoin and Ethereum wallet addresses that hold over $1 million of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the largest wealth creation event in human history and it's unfolding right before us. This is at an all-time high and up from 40,000 wallets as at the end of last year. This makes the next piece of data all the more incredible. Despite such a rapid rise in the Bitcoin price, we continue to see Bitcoin supply moving off of exchanges into cold storage and off-exchange wallets. Incredible. There have never been so many wallets with as much dollars in them, yet holders are continuing to not sell their Bitcoins. Usually, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, we see supply flow onto exchanges, yet we are seeing the exact opposite right now. An incredible statistic, and it implies that we still have a long way to go upwards in terms of the Bitcoin price. Hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you with something valuable, and as always guys, have a great day.